money struggles that absolutely, I am not rich. This whole, I have $3 million, no, absolutely not. I'm not broke, but I'm also not rich. I have a nest egg, and without doing another season, there is no income. Like I said, I had this account set for deletion, so that means no creator fund. That means I'm not making money off of TikTok. So, and the people that are like, get a job, get a job. Okay, I have a almost 8-month-old daughter. Ken works. My parents live an hour and 15 minutes away. I don't necessarily have people, thank you so much, Angel Marie, love you, girl. For a long time, that was social media for me. The reality of it is I used to make probably about $3 grand a month on TikTok from the creator fund. The creator fund's great. But if you're not wanting to showcase your life, then you're kind of limited, especially you know, coming from someone who was on reality TV. Thank you. People have said, do Cameo, do this, do that. I don't want to. So what I found is I like artwork. I like painting. This is something that I can do at home. And no, it's not Picasso. No, it's not great. But I'm still learning, and that's the fun thing about it is I'm learning so much more about art. It's art has been a passion of mine for a very long time. I actually have a painting that I did a long time ago. Okay, it's not good, it's just my handprints. But this is before the crime, so it's my handprints. And we were able to get this from the Habitat House and some of my other paintings. So painting is something not new. This is something I've been doing for a long time, in different ways and stuff like that. Selling them, like I said, I need an income. I do have a child to provide for. Ken provides what he can, and he does an amazing job providing for the family. But as a mom, like in this economy, both parents need to be bringing in an income to stay above water. That's just the reality of life. So anybody that knocks my art, I'm sorry, it's not perfect. It is abstract. I never claimed to be, you know, making the Mona Lisa. It's one thing about me. I'm kind of funny, so I'll play jokes. And I charge a lot. Yeah, I do. California is like, I buy mine at Target and it's $59.99, $57.99 before tax. So it's like, yeah, I do what I can to bring in any kind of income, because I'm at a disadvantage. If I, as someone who was in reality TV, as someone as well known as I am, you think I can go and work at Abercrombie and Fitch, whatever, or the mall and not get recognized? There are people on this app that have called places that I'll go shop or I will go eat at a restaurant. They will call and harass the place. So I would love to ask these people, the people that are like, get a job, if I got a 9-to-5, would y'all like let me work? Would y'all leave me alone and just let me do my job without calling and be like, do you know a schmurder works there? I'm gonna get her fired. So it's like, I am at that disadvantage. So I'm like, strip everything away and realize I do have a child, a living, breathing child to provide for. And I'm just literally doing the best I can with what I have to work with. So anyway, moving on from that. So that is why there is no season 3. It's because I chose to not continue on. Lifetime chose not to continue on with me because the viewership didn't match up. I chose not to continue on with another network who would have picked up our show. So ultimately, that's the reason why. And now what am I left with? So now I'm doing good in my life. I'm enjoying living a more quiet, private life. As for social media, let's loop back into social media. Social media and I, as we have seen on the show, has been something I have been battling with since I got out of prison. My expectations of social media when I got out was basically, oh, thank you, Mac. I just read a text. My expectations for social media when I got out was like, I want to post selfies. I want to play on Snapchat. I want to be goofy and do silly TikTok videos of me dancing and like everything that I was like scrolling by. I'm like, oh, that's a trendy video. I want to do that. And, because it's like I didn't get a chance to get into all that stuff when I was locked up. Like, when I was locked up, all this stuff was going on. And I'm like, I want to try that out. I'm 34 years old, but like in my soul, I feel like sometimes I'm like 20. I'm like, sometimes I could be a little goofy, be immature, be a little smart ass sometimes, but that's only like one part of me. That's cool. Thank you. The other part of me is every bit of 34 and learning what are my priorities in life? What is the meaning of me? Who am I? And I think that, if we take away all of the content that gets put about me, the narratives that get put out there, just look at, it was breaking news that I cut my hair. I got a new haircut. Okay. But if you take away all of that extra content from creators, the reality is I never got to figure out who I am. And so, yeah, I'm going to be 50 different versions of me. I do change. I grow. And some things stay the same. Because maturing comes with time I didn't have. And in prison is supposed to be reform. Okay, in a lot of ways, prison is actually just a babysitter. It's an adult babysitter. I have seen countless times of how the guards handle inmates' bad behavior, and to the people that are like that, for the people that are really wanting to better themselves, they honestly get something out of prison. But to the people that are just, we call them frequent flyers. So that just means they get out, they reoffend, they go right back. They do it and they do it and they do it. I've seen one girl come back 15 times. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, you again? When are you ever gonna learn? But that's unfortunately how it is. And during COVID, it was really bad, because it's like they were trying to make sure that everybody didn't get COVID, but also that meant whenever somebody did something wrong, segregation was filled because they were using it as quarantine for a while. The prison does what they can, and with the programs. Like for me, I try to do as many programs as my prison would allow me to do. I did group therapy, which I got certificates in. I got my GED, which I was like super proud of myself, because it's like I had to learn all that stuff from the ground up. So it's like, yeah, my GED might not be a college degree, okay, but it was big for me, so that's all that matters. So it's like, in prison, you get what you give, and that's just how it is. I did everything I can within, oh, thank you. I did everything I could have within you know, the limits of what I had to work with. Sorry, I was talking. So coming out, they don't teach you about real life in prison. In prison, the loudest dog is the one, you know, you have to be the ferocious, you have to be tough, you have to be, you know, that badass, in order to be respected. So coming out of prison, I'm like, okay, so if someone doesn't like me, I've got to be snarky, I've got to be, you know, more. And then I started to realize over the course of, you know, my time being free, you don't address someone with a different opinion with like being straight up rude. Now, I am the type of person that if you come at me rude, probably gonna come at you rude too. But I've also been having really good conversations with creators on this app that started out not liking me. Like, they literally made anti-gypsy content. And one in particular I'm friends with now. And others that have had, you know, a difference of an opinion, or as they say, the other side. I've been able to have decent conversations with them, and us not really get into the weeds of all of the conspiracy theories or, you know, the different things that come up that people have questions about. We're able to stay on topic of, yeah, TikTok is really ferocious sometimes. It's not for the faint of heart, and you gotta be strong, and you gotta stick to your guns and what you stand for. So anyway, all I'm saying is that, you know, I'm growing as an individual. I'm never gonna be perfect, and that's the thing about what I think I have been doing wrong this whole time, is I literally have been trying to be everything that people expect me to be. Like, when you get out, you need to advocate for prison reform. We expect great things of you, Miss Blanchard. You know, you need to advocate for Munchausen by proxy and this, that, and the other. And when I got out, you know who I had for contacts? I had the producers of my show. Yeah, I met Kim Kardashian. Yeah, she was really nice. We talked about my story. I did talk about my friend Amelia's story with her. Did that make it in the show? Of course it didn't. Of course it didn't, because I didn't get to choose that. But, you know, now I'm able to have communication with my friends in prison. So I was able to explain that to Amelia. But the fact is advocating, I don't even think half of anybody on TikTok knows what that even means or what they want from me. Because it's like, I have brought awareness to Munchausen by proxy. A, by sharing my story. B, by explaining what it is to people that probably don't know, or if they haven't heard it. And what I see in my comment section, we don't want a schmurder to advocate, go back to prison. And then I'll make a video about me, you know, dancing on my makeup. This isn't advocating. Why aren't you doing what you said you were gonna do? Okay, I am only one human being, and you're expecting me to come out and be freaking Wonder Woman over here. I am not Wonder Woman. And that's what I've been doing wrong this whole time is, you know, I try and fit into everybody's box that they want me to be in. Because ultimately, nobody wants to be hated. Nobody wants to be made fun of. Nobody wants to feel like the odd one out. But I have been doing everything but being myself on this app. And like, when I thought that my style was getting better, you know, people are like, you're copying off of your sister. Well, my sister gave me some good advice about style, but I'm not the fashionable sister, okay? I am the one that will wear slippers of 2 different colors. I am quirky. I am not fashionable because I don't have an eye for fashion. Yeah, I'm not into fashion. I like makeup, but I'm just not fashionable, and that's fine. If somebody thinks I'm not fashionable, it's okay. I don't care. You're not wearing it. I am. So it doesn't matter. But I've seen that a lot, and I just feel like I'm so done being put in everybody's box or trying to be what everybody else wants me to be. And I just want to be me. Like, I want to be me, because I feel like that's what my friends know. That's what my loved ones know. And that's ultimately what I'm happy being, is myself. Most people don't know that I'm super dorky. I snort when I laugh sometimes. I make dumb jokes that are pretty much like knock-knock jokes. A lot of y'all don't call me. Hold up. Let me put you on pause, and I don't want to end. I just want to go on pause. Cancel. See, I haven't been live forever, and I forgot how this works. I will be